Hi everybody, Adam Steele from Hot Pole Studios here, and I've put the table out today. It's unboxing day. I've been sent a lot of stuff, some of which I've bought, some of which has been sent to me for reasons, and I'm kind of in a shadow here because of these. These are going to be really interesting. Let's roll the intro. So let's start with a couple of the more obvious unboxing things. There's one which isn't on camera, which I'll just show a quick picture of here, and that's Harry the Hoover. Hello to our new friend Harry, because it was getting a little bit dusty in here, and especially because of the dogs upstairs, I had to get like a pet Hoover. So that is a non-musical thing, not particularly interesting. And then the next thing to try and clear this is another not particularly interesting thing. This is, I'll see if I can switch camera here, a 12-way power supply. So not the most romantic of things, I know, but it's going behind the console because I've got a lot of things that need plugging in. It's becoming more and more, and especially with one of these packages. That's why. So let's clear this lot off here. Adam Hall and Gravity and Palmer have sent me a lot of stuff to work with, including a tiny little pedal board, which is going to be in an upcoming video, and over there a very big pedal board, which is going to be like the centerpiece, because it's going to be a video all about bass and bass effects and processing and stuff. And they've also sent me a lot of these little things, which I'll have to switch the camera to for. These are little quick change adapters for mic stands. They've also sent me a couple of mic stands, one of which you can't see because it's holding the mic up right now, and it's amazing because it's not falling over and it's leaning really, really far, but it's dead heavy. And I've got one of their little mic stands in the live room, and they are really good. So thank you, Gravity, for sending all this stuff. I've already use the quick change stuff. My shotgun mic, which is up here, there's now a stand at the back here, and that stand is going to be using the same quick release, so I can just pop the shotgun mic off and pop it on over there. Although that stand back here is going to be replaced. That's not a Gravity stand. That's going to be replaced very soon from something I believe is in one of these boxes. But let's get these out the way so I'm not sat in darkness. These are exactly what they say on the box. These are Adam Audio S2Vs. I have not bought these. These have been sent to me by Adam Audio to try them. They've given me a 1-month loan. I currently have the Adam A7Xs behind me and 2 sub 8s. I'm going to see if replacing them with these, which are a little bit more expensive, I think, than the whole setup I have, whether that makes the difference, because then the bass is coming straight at me, etc, etc. So let's get one of these out of its box. Oh, it's got, yeah, no, it's just heavy. And these are still covered in more of these like ball tilt angles and quick couplers, which are going to be very useful in the studio, I am sure. Right, so these haven't come with anything special in there because these are loan units. They probably know that we don't need fancy power cables and such. So, there we go. That is actually smaller than I thought it would be, which is surprising. But it does have, an optional network thing, which isn't in there right now. Let's switch to this camera. So it's quite big on this camera, of course. It's got all these funky controls. It's got AES digital audio in and out, which I am definitely going to be using. And there is software that comes with it, which is what the USB's for, so that you can tune the speakers to the room. It's currently a 6-band EQ that's in there. I have heard rumblings that may be improved at some point. Oh, these have taken a bit of a beating. let's just for the video's sake, I'm gonna grab one of my other speakers. So they are a little bigger than the A7X. They're definitely deeper than the A7X, that's for sure. If I line them up, there's another 1.5 inches of depth there. Yes, that's what she said. But I think part of what you're paying for is the inbuilt DSP and the... I think these are like the super high quality tweeters, because the A7Xs are already good. But we're talking like next level. So... yes. Yeah, they are kind of large near fields, maybe rather than midfields. But I think the other thing that I'm going to be doing is at the front here, Gravity have sent me a couple of big heavy speaker stands. And I might just have these a little wider out on speaker stands and then put the NS10 copies back in between. I'll see. Because if the low end translates right, if I can just sit a little bit further back, which is another reason, if you've not seen these recently on the channel, I've now got 2 big screens up here. Because now I've got a 4K screen at the bottom and just a regular old 1080p Black Friday cheap screen at the top. That means I'm not squinting and staring at things, which means I don't have to be as close. And if I don't have to be as close, the speakers can be further apart. And then we're starting to get into midfield territory. So, yes. Right, okay. The S2Vs are considerably heavier. I'm not going to unbox them both, and I'm going to put this one back for now. I don't have the time today to do the full review on these. That's going to be probably next week. But that is coming. Right, we can see each other now. Come in, make yourselves at home. Let's get rid of this big thing in front of me as well first. So that's the next one. This one, this long tube, has actually got 2 things in. Ah, there we go. Ah, there you are, Bond. Come on. Oh, there we go. Right, so this is a slider. I've finally gone ahead and got a motorized slider. I've wanted one for years, and the choices, way back when I first started looking at them, because I've been doing this a decade now, was either really cheap and rubbish, or incredibly expensive. So I've finally gone ahead and bought this, which is kind of like a mid-tier thing from a company called Andoa. And so, let's see if camera 2 can get this. So there we go. So this is a slider which does what its name suggests. Come back here, you. Right, so that's a pin for going in there. So, this is... there we go, let's just put the feet out a second. There we go. This is my new slider. And the idea... is it in focus? Yeah. So there we go. So the slider, without the motor, slides as such. Don't catch in there. There we go, yeah. So the slider slides. But if... there we go. If you turn this bar in the middle, you can have it pan. So by locking it in on one side, like so, as you slide the slider, the head is rotating. So you can either have it as a straight slider, or you can have it pan outwards as it goes, or you can have it pan inwards, which is what I'm going to be using it for mostly, for the lovely B-roll footage. So whenever I get nice footage of anything else that you see now, hopefully, I'll be using the slider to get some really nice shots. And when I do, I will be using this other bit, and this is the motor. Now, yes, this is battery powered, fantastic. This is battery powered with the Sony batteries which go in there, which I have many. So I'm just going to go and grab one of these. You know it's one of mine because it's got my name on it. And that goes on there. Clicky. Oh, there we go. So I turned it on and it went blink, blink, blink. On. Fantastic. So it's got a remote control on a cable, a springy cable. And it looks like, I'll have to work out how this mounts, but it appears that it mounts back here. And I'm not sure about the rest, so I will have to consult the manual because it looks like there's some clever stuff goes on here. Oh, I get an extra Nvme battery. Nice. Actually came with a battery, although I can use my battery that's the size of a house. So that's all good. Oh yeah, so it's got all sorts of mechanisms on here. So that's going to take a little bit of thinking about. I'm going to have to take this home tonight and play with the setup. Note to self, take big battery home also. Yeah, so that is going with me tonight because I've got some setup to do. And I've got to go and pick up my daughter later, so I can't be here all day, unfortunately. Slide that in there. Boop. And off you go. Okay, can't whistle any more of that, I'll get copyrighted. So, onto this pile. So we've seen the massive pedal board and the studio monitor stands, which are over there. And so, let's have a look in here. So, 25-meter Ethernet cable. Not a big fan of the flat ones. But this is important because we've just got 500 megabit internet in the building, which means that all the live streams will very soon be in 4K. But I need to route this from upstairs where the internet is round and through because this room is all floating walls, floating ceilings. I can't really pierce the walls without causing problems. So we're going to find a way around it. Next is a good old 5-meter HDMI extension cable because now I've got all these cameras, I quite often need them to be in places that they're not. That slider, by the way, the other thing that I bought to go with the slider was... Come on, you... this, which is a Z... let's just... get on this. So this is a Z head. There we go. So this, where am I in focus? There we go. So how does this? I think it's it's pressure. There we go. So this is a Z mount. So that goes on top of any kind of tripod or slider or whatever, and you can tilt it down, tilt it up, raise it, lower it, which means that if you've got something that's like a like the slider, which has a fixed base, I can then attach this to it, which raises the camera up slightly and then gives me options to tilt it. Very, very useful. It's an extra tool to have, not particularly expensive. If you use anything in videography, I recommend getting one of these because it will help you have much more customizable shots. What else have we got? Okay, so this is a 1 terabyte Nvme Drive to go in the computer behind me because thanks to TuneTrack, I got Superior Drummer 3, which I'm going to be doing a video on very soon, and that takes up 400 gigabytes. So my hard drive's full, so that is so that the studio computer can continue to function. Next, let's pull up this little thing while we're talking camera. This is a tiny little thing. This is a motorized skater dolly. Now I'm going to put this down. Now the idea is you put your camera on this, so like so. Not like that. Like this. And then you press some buttons to turn this on. There we go. And that is now motorized. So I can put the camera on it and have the camera move a little bit and then come back the other way and have adjustable speed. Isn't that lovely? It's really cool for getting those like extra mile type shots where I just want a camera to just go, because you can change the angle of the wheels so it can go round things. So I could have a camera on this table and have something on the table and have the camera rotate around the thing. So that's for those kind of shots. So I can do some really funky stuff there. And because it's motorized, again, you don't get the shakiness of doing it by hand, because I do have an old, like, literally it's like a skate, like a roller skate version of this, which you would do by hand. And as cool as that was, half the time you couldn't use the shots because the shots were shaky from the hand pushing it. That push off being the awkward bit. Let's go back to this box. So this, I had to pay quite a lot of import on this, which is annoying. Let's just rip it open in frustration. There we go. There we go. Yeah, so this is a load of thread bolts for my new kick drum, because I just got myself a new Tama drum kit, which has a 24-inch bass drum. 34 would be ridiculous. But the threads that were with it, because it was second hand, for the front skin didn't fit, which meant the front skin couldn't be held on tightly, which meant I couldn't tune it. Now I can tune it, now I can use it. Fantastic. Tuning drums is important, guys. This one's a 45 watt AC adapter, just nothing special there, but the reason it's important for me is that because it's multi-voltage and it's got all the different ends on it, I can power one of these cameras. I can power the GH5, or I just got a GH3 for one of the cameras in the live room, and now I can power it without putting batteries in, worrying about the batteries wearing out, going flat, recharging. It's another thing I don't have to think about in the middle of all these upcoming live streams, which I'm going to be doing more of. And last thing in this box is a tiny little lens. This is a 9mm wide angle lens, which is going to be going on that camera that I've just said I'm going to put the charger on in the live room, so that I can see the whole live room all at once, so that when there's a band in there, you're not cropping people out, because there's nothing worse than having a shot where heads are missing or people are missing off the sides. Let's see what else we've got. I'm going to leave these two for a minute because they're a bit cool. What's in here? Oh. There's only one thing in here, so let's yeet that. That has been yeet. It's another Rode PSA 1. I bought this. This hasn't been sent by Rode, although it would be nice, and if they sent me stuff. But this is gonna go on the side of the console, because right now I've got the shotgun microphone boomed in above me, which is great. But what I really would like is to have the shotgun mic on a swivel arm, so that it can be, when I turn round and do mixing, I can just pull that arm around and have the mic still out of shot, but on that side. And when I turn around to talk to you, I can just swivel it out so that it's pointed in the right direction, and so you can hear me clearly without having to change everything round every 5 minutes. So yeah, more of this kind of stuff which saves me time is more stuff that means I can make more content. Efficiency is king, everybody. Now, this one's pretty cool because this is a 2 Notes Captor X. Now, you have seen these on the channel before because I did a review video of the Captor X. So I've had one in the studio before, but at the time they were so scarce, so hard to find, that I had to have what they call a press copy. So my Captor X at the time was originally sent to Rabia Masad, then sent to me, Then when I'd done my video, I had to send it on to somebody else, and so on, because there was so few of them. If we all wanted to do a video, we had to share the few that were there. I liked it so much, I finally got around to buying one. Now, I already have a torpedo captor, a regular one, a captor 8. And I already have the Cab M. So up to now, I haven't actually needed the Captor X, although I very much wanted one for a while. But now I have a Mesa dual rectifier Road King, and that thing is a 150 watt amp, which is way too much power for a captor. But it can do a 4 ohm output. So with a bit of clever maths, 2 8 ohm load boxes can be presented to it as one 200 watt load. Which means that then we can safely handle all the load. So 2 8 ohm captors will make a 4 ohm load, which then works for that. So I can now silently record that beast with it absolutely hammered. And also the option that I have is to have the normal captor using 1 amp and this using a different amp, so that I can do dual amp tones live without sending anybody deaf. So that's going to be very, very cool. And I'm looking forward to using that a lot. So last but not least, this came. This is the Audient Evo 8. This thing is brilliant. I've been using this a little bit. This is, yeah, kind of, I'm cheating a little with this unboxing. I've had this for a couple of weeks. But because of, you know, the situation, this is 2020 after all, every company in the world has been struggling to make high numbers of products. And this is something that I think, and Audient think, is going to sell very, very well. This has 4 really clean mic pre's, 4 outputs, so you can have your monitors and also either a second set of monitors or like a reamp output, with a reamp box, of course. And it's got 2 separate headphone outs that are actually separate, so you can have separate mixes, separate levels. Very, very useful, and my review is going to be coming up on that very, very soon. So, yes, that might actually be the next thing I film after I get a bit of lunch. But that is all the stuff that has arrived in the last few weeks. So big thanks to everybody who sent stuff in for review. Thanks to the patrons for allowing me to be able to buy some of this stuff. Thank you everybody for watching, and hit the subscribe button and like and all the rest of that kind of stuff, because all the videos and all this kind of stuff's going to come out over the next couple of months, and I'll be doing more stuff on more things. I've got a lot cooking right now, and I feel like a chef who's got 20 different dishes on, and I'm like, trying to serve them all. But it's going to be fascinating. So thank you everybody for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next video. See you later. Hey everyone, that might be the end of the video, but if you fancy carrying on this conversation, we have a Discord server, link is in the description. We're also on Patreon, which is something you can really help us with. We also are on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter at Hot Pole Studios. See you there.